I welcome you back to Analytics Simplified. My name is Upendra, and in this video we are going to look at another important aspect of data science, that is pertaining to visualization. And the topic that we are going to talk about today is data ink ratio. So when we talk about the genesis of this particular term, it has got to do with visualization. So you know that whenever you are handed over some amount of data, obviously the first thing that we go for is an exploratory analysis to draw useful insights out of that particular data. And once those insights are drawn, we basically represent that particular data by using any visualization tool. Now there are multiple options for visualizing the data, and depending upon the nature we can choose one or the other. However, the idea behind data ink ratio is that whatever visualization tool we choose to show the insights or the data, in that particular tool or option, maximum amount of effort should go into representing the data. And when I say that maximum amount of effort should go into representing the data, it basically means maximum amount of ink should be dedicated to highlighting the aspects which are found in the data rather than highlighting the elements which are of background nature. So this brings us to the definition of data ink ratio. Simply put, it is a ratio between the total amount of ink that goes into representing the data to the total amount of ink that has been used in a visualization graphic, right? So out of multiple options, like you can go for bar charts, pie charts, scatter plots, whatever option of visualization you choose, in that particular option the idea should be to maximize this ratio so that maximum amount of ink basically goes in highlighting the data, right? So basically the idea is to maximize the data ink ratio. So I'll take a very simple scenario to walk you through this particular concept. In the slide there are two different graphs. The two graphs represent the same information, that is GDP per capita of the 5 permanent members of UNSC, right? So if you look at the data plainly, the two graphs are representing the same information. However, when we talk about the scenario 1, that means the graph which is shown on the left hand side, what we see is that some amount of ink goes into representing the data and some amount of ink is also going into representing the background element. In this case, the background element is shown with yellow ink, right? Now if I contrast this graph with the graph shown in scenario 2, what we observe is that maximum amount of ink has been used to represent the data. In other words, the data ink ratio for scenario 2 is greater as compared to the data ink ratio for scenario 1, right? And this should be the common practice whenever you choose to show the data by using a visualization tool. So the key takeaway from this discussion is that whenever we are given a visualization tool to show the data, more and more amount of effort should go into highlighting the aspects that have been derived from the data rather than showing the background elements, right? And it also simulates the philosophy of less is more. Why? Because the idea should be that we be able to make use of ink as economically as possible. In doing so, we are not only saving the resources, but at the end we are also making sure that the elements of the data are being given more importance as compared to the background elements, right? So I will sign off now with an expectation that in future, whenever you have a visualization option to choose from, you will definitely look into maximizing this data ink ratio. In case you have any questions pertaining to this particular topic, feel free to put them in the comment section and I will be more than happy to answer them. For more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to this particular channel and also share it with your friends.